Good afternoon and welcome to this week's People to People Australia Market Update, our regular live stream taking a look at the latest insights into recent employment and job seeker trends. I'm Peta Seaman, the SA Managing Director here at People to People in Adelaide, South Australia. What's on today's show? What will the future of accounting look like in 2025? We are joined by Kirsten Garrett, Accounting and Finance Manager at People to People in Sydney, to discuss what key trends have shaped the accounting and finance market throughout 2024 and how they may continue to impact both employers and the talent landscape throughout 2025. Also on today's shows, we will talk about how the latest unemployment rate impacts Australia's labour market going into 2025. We'll have hot jobs across Australia, as well as a new opportunity for working holidaymakers in New Zealand and the UK. And lastly, social media insights on what aspect of hybrid work appeals most to your workforce. Let's get started with this week's Stat of the Week. The latest data from the Australian Bureau of Statistics reveals that the unemployment rate remained steady at 4.1% in September of 2024, consistent with the previous month. With employment rising by 64,000 people and a slight decline in the number of unemployed, the labour market shows resilience. The participation rate reached a record high of 67.2%, highlighting continued strong job growth and a rise in the employment to population ratio. Although unemployment numbers are slightly higher than in 2023, they remain lower than the pre-pandemic levels, showing a relatively tight labour market. Heading into 2025, this indicates that job seekers can expect a competitive but active job market, with opportunities still emerging across various sectors. Employers, meanwhile, will continue to face a tight labour market, while filling vacancies may require additional effort to attract talent. The high participation and employment rate suggests that businesses may need to offer competitive packages and focus on retention strategies to secure skilled workers. With underemployment and underutilisation rates also decreasing, the Australian labour market is likely to remain robust, though employers may still face challenges finding candidates to meet their growing needs. And that's it for this week's Stat of the Week. So this week's hot jobs of the week, we have a commercial property manager here based in Adelaide, and you're looking at between $40 to $60 per hour plus super. We have multiple short and long-term vacancies in the property industry that cover key roles during recruitment campaigns or extended leave. You will need to have at least 2 years experience in a property-based role, and your consultant in South Australia at our 𝗶 recruitment team is Taryn Widows, and you can contact her at taryn@𝗶recruitment.com.au or 08 8232 2220. We also have a payroll officer based in New South Wales in St Leonards. The salary for this role will be paying between $90,000 and $115,000. You'll be managing payroll for approximately 350 to 400 employees on a fortnightly pay cycle, and you'll assist with system upgrades and implementation. You will need to have proven experience in a full function payroll position. To find more information about this role, contact Christopher Williams in our Sydney office, and you can email him on christopher@peopletopeople.com.au or 02 8270 9785. Find the job you love abroad in New Zealand or the UK. Working holiday jobs, we are hiring across New Zealand and the United Kingdom. We have a customer service manager in London, United Kingdom for £35,000 to £40,000, a senior associate architect in Reading, the UK, paying between £45,000 and £60,000, and an outbound sales representative in Auckland in New Zealand at $26.44 per hour.
All right, well, true to I guess, the nature of our lives, Peta just had a fire alarm happening in the Adelaide office. So I'm 𝗿 𝗙𝗶𝗴𝗵𝘁. I'm the marketing manager at People to People. And I'm joined today by Kirsten Garrett, who is a team leader for our accounting, finance, and legal team in the Sydney office. How are you, Kirsten?
I'm good, thank you. And there I thought I was going to be speaking to Peta. I haven't seen her for ages, and I get to talk to you, who I see every day. But lovely to be here, and thanks for having me.
Always talking to your favorite. So
yes.
my first question is, what were the main challenges that you've seen accounting professionals and employers face in the recruitment process in 2024?
The first thing that came to mind, and I'm speaking a little bit off the top of my head here, is that there is a definite disconnect between the roles that applicants believe they're relevant to and the key criteria an employer is looking for. Some believe their skills, particularly, for example, industry and systems knowledge, are transferable, but the employer is looking for a like-for-like or a distinct overlap. More employers are looking for a higher level of physical presence in the office, but job seekers are still looking for a 50-50 split or something similar with work from home. And this is particularly in the case if you're targeting an employee who's in a permanent role at the moment. And then thirdly, the most common feedback that I'm hearing from accounting professionals when they apply to role, and this goes at all levels, which absolutely floors me, is that they don't actually get any feedback when they are unsuccessful. And we've got good quality people out in the market who, if they got feedback on their application, they genuinely believe they can use that to help them target future applications and be a more relevant candidate going forward. So they're just a couple of the challenges we've seen throughout 2024.
That's interesting. And obviously in 2022, the market was booming and it was very candidate short. So there was quite, I guess, the bargain of power was very much in the candidate's favor. So have you seen any kind of shift in the recruitment and talent acquisition space in 2024, specifically for accounting and finance?
Look, we definitely saw the accounting job market, recruitment market slow slightly. And some might say, as you referenced, normalise after a very, very busy 22 and 2023. There are an increased number of job seekers open to new opportunities, But that's if the salary and all of the other workplace conditions meet their expectations. The other thing we have seen in the recruitment and the talent acquisition process is a cost control mindset when it comes to the recruitment. So there continues to be a rigorous approach to permanent recruitment, particularly with several layers of approval throughout the process, and even with contract positions. It's not just a matter of getting a temp in, having a phone conversation with the consultant and taking someone on board. There are interview processes taking place for both temp and fixed term contracts. So that's been a bit of a shift there. And these shifts give the employer confidence. So if we adhere to all of that and we put up with all of those shifts, it does give the employer confidence that they are getting a value-add skill set when they do actually recruit. So they're sticking to their guns, to sometimes the frustration of the job seeker there.
And what advice would you give to any accounting professionals who are uncertain about the market coming into 2025?
Yeah, and look, this one's this is a really broad topic, obviously, and it really does depend on the level of person they are, the industries they're coming from, and so on. But generally speaking, and first and foremost, in a somewhat still uncertain market, I would encourage accounting professionals to position themselves to relevant roles, present themselves with a growth mindset and a belief in continued process improvement. I'd encourage them to highlight their ability to engage with multiple stakeholders from different parts of the business. And I'd also encourage them, and this is a sidestep, to engage with their own network, re-establish connections from, former colleagues, management they've worked with in the past, to increase their profile. The more interactions a job seeker has with connections, with businesses across the market, the more visible they will be and more easily found. So the likelihood is they'll come up in whether it's recruitment consultants searching or actual employers themselves and talent acquisition teams searching for talent.
Thank you. And so looking ahead, so obviously, like in 2024, I feel like there's been quite a few topics we've been talking about in the labor market: cybersecurity, AI, Gen AI, but just also just the labor market going up and down with the economic landscape. So what are your key predictions for the accounting and finance industry in 2025? And how do you think these changes will impact both, I guess, employers and employees, or employees job seekers?
Yep. Look, I've been recruiting for nearly 30 years, and I know that ages me. And if I had a crystal ball every time someone asked me this, I'd probably be on a tropical island, retired and living the life. So I don't have that crystal ball. But what I would say is I believe the accounting and finance market will continue to normalise. There will be hiring in key positions. There will be some pockets of growth that will be encouraging. I would say to the employer, to secure the best talent, they've got to continue, as always, to move quickly. And they also need to create a compelling value proposition to attract desired talent. And this is just alive in the moment, but one of my team members came back from a meeting this morning and they sat down with a talent acquisition and HR lead in that particular business and redesigned their employee value proposition based on most of the commentary in our market report published earlier this year. And they're going to take that to their executive and reshape how they pitch themselves to the market. So I thought that was a very valuable point to note. And that was literally half an hour ago. The other thing I would say is in accounting and finance, technology continues to transform the landscape. So with data analytics and automation or streamlining of processes, you need to be on top of that. You need to be embracing that as an applicant to position yourself best, I guess. And certainly also as an employer, you need to be able to demonstrate how you are embracing that to attract top talent. Talent want to work with contemporary, forward-thinking businesses. So it is all about the employer creating that value proposition on many levels. It's not just the benefits they're going to get. Salary and workplace flexibility, sure. But we really do need employers to be pitching their business as relevant and contemporary and forward-thinking to attract the best talent. So I don't have a crystal ball, Remy. I wish I did. And then I wouldn't be suited and booted. I'd be out there on a tropical island somewhere. But yeah, that's my insights. I do look forward to seeing what 2025 brings. If you just asked me anecdotally over a gin and tonic, I'd say that it's going to feel a little bit busier than this year. I think we're seeing a little bit more confidence grow. That is pure and anecdotal. That is not based on any particular numbers, being slight growth in both temporary and contract roles as well as permanent. So I think once we get over the Christmas, New Year, January, summer break, we will start to see a little bit more normalisation in the accounting and finance recruitment market.
Definitely, I can't talk for obviously specifically for the accounting and finance space, but I know that I think it was either the 𝗿𝗃 or 𝗃 who published some news a couple of days ago saying that the labor market, or at least the job numbers in the labor market, seems to be stabilizing right now.
Yeah,
so
yes,
it's
with a slight increase. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so it's obviously a positive outlook. It's the end of the year, so things will slow down as we get closer to Christmas. But yes,
Absolutely.
definitely, hopefully 2025 will be definitely more positive for job seekers and for employers. But thank you so much, Kirsten, for joining us today. Obviously, if you guys want to contact Kirsten, her contact details are right below. But yeah, thank you so much, Kirsten, and I'll see you in this office right after this live. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye now.
All right, so for our poll of last week, so the question was, what aspect of remote or hybrid working appeals most to you? And unsurprisingly, at least for me, it's flexible schedule. So anecdotally, for the last 2 to 3 years, so we run a report, and for the last 2 to 3 years, when we've asked people what was the most important part of flexible working, they've always said it was flexible work hours. So it definitely matches what we found in the market in the last 2 to 3 years. The question that we have for this week, though, is if you were promoted without a salary increase, what would make it feel more worthwhile for you? Is it skills of career and development? Is it an extra flexibility or benefits, or is it a clear pathway to a future salary increase? So obviously you can respond to this poll by going to our Twitter account, so People to People Recruitment on Twitter or X. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. We're looking forward to seeing you next week, and apologies again for Peter for not being able to finish this live due to the fire alarm. Have a great rest of the week, and I will see you next week. Thank you.